Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning in to the Diaspora Panel, the voice of the diaspora, where we discuss Nigerian politics and politics all around the world. I have with me today, as always, I have Mr. Ademola Adisa, who is based in the United Kingdom. Mr. Adisa, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I also have Mr. Olalawal, who is based in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are also welcome.
Thank you for having me this morning.
For all our viewers, I want to thank you for watching. And if you are one of our viewers who have not subscribed, please hit that subscription button. It's free of charge, which means that when we do our next video, you'll be one of the first persons to know about our next video. And if you perchance have anything you want to tell us, maybe you want to give us some news item, or you want to, complain, you can send us your emails to info@diasporapanel.com. Today, we are going to discuss the issue of Osun State governorship election, that the judgment that was read a couple of days ago, in which the current governor, Governor Ademola Adeleke, was removed as the governor of Osun State, and his predecessor, Mr. Governor Yetola, has been adjudged as the winner of that election. So we heard that Ademola Adeleke said he's going to appeal the judgment, even though it's a judgment that seems to be incontrovertible, so to say. But what do we think? What did the panel think about this decision of the judges, actually? Let me start with you, Mr. Adisa, in the UK. What is your opinion about this judgment?
Oh, thank you, Deji. The judgment, I don't think it's caught anybody by surprise, based on the proceedings of the tribunal and the information that came out during the proceedings of the tribunal. So one would not have expected anything, any surprise with the outcome of that tribunal findings. The basic thing there was that obviously there are overvoting, which was glaring in some areas that are favorable to Ademola Adeleke. And the other issue about because the defense was based on both on the overvoting as well as the certificate, the credentials for Adeleke that was portrayed as being forged or unauthentic. Even though the judgment was silent on this, it's still obvious that the core things about the overvoting has led the court to remove all what is perceived as being overvoting, and eventually Governor Yetola emerged as the authentic and the true winner of that election.
Thank you very much. Shukwa, you perhaps read the judgments as at least the majority judgment, or what we now know as the majority judgment. When you read that judgment, what hit you in the face? What is your thoughts about it?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think two things, and I think the two things that struck me are issues that I think INEC ought to clarify. The first thing is that there were two different BVAS reports. I mean, if an election is conducted properly, and is conducted in alignment with the regulations and the procedures, the BVAS report should not be different. It doesn't matter when it was issued, whether immediately after the election or 30 days after. So that, I think, INEC needs to offer some form of an explanation, because it should never happen. The second issue that I think this majority ruling brought up is that even though there's the BVAS process is supposed to happen before a candidate actually collects a ballot to put in their votes. It seems that there is still a manual process in which the votes, after they are counted, are then tallied on a form. Because what we understood happened here is that the APC requested for the manual entries on the form and the BVAS. Now, the two of them should be in sync.
Yeah,
there shouldn't be any difference.
Yeah,
they should tally. So what this shows is that we need to get to a place where we totally eliminate any form of manual intervention in electronic reporting. Because what this basically shows is at any point where humans are involved, there is some form of opportunity for foul play. So in my opinion, what I would suggest that INEC does is to actually have the BVAS report be the report that is automatically collated and tendered as the votes for the election that is conducted. So I think these two issues INEC really needs to clarify, and they need to clarify so that the public will have confidence in the election that it will be due in about 2.5, 3 weeks.
Thank you very much. Ademola, the question I want to ask you is, INEC, when they released the results of the election to APC, they gave them one set of results, the BVAS and the official result. And when APC now questioned this result, because there is no sync between the BVAS and the result, I mean, there was discrepancy. Now, the INEC now offered another set of records, which didn't match the first one. So the judge was now, the judge was confused, like, which one should I take? Is it the first one or the second one? And after all, the judge now decided to take the first one. But why should, so the INEC is now saying that the first set of results that we sent, as at that time, we don't know, the final result has not come in. But the question is, should INEC be declaring results on an election that when they have not actually finished counting? Should that happen in any democracy? Okay. If you understand what I mean.
I think we addressed this issue in the previous meeting we had. There should not be any controversy about the BVAS outcome. BVAS is for accreditation. It's actually said how many people are actually present to vote that are accredited and verified that are qualified to vote. Either you do it today or do it next year, the results should be the same. There should be no accreditation that is said when you run it, it's 100 today, and tomorrow it becomes 1,000. This is not credible. And it brings me to the issue about INEC. INEC really needs to use this outcome, the outcome of this election, to really put its house in order. INEC has a lot to answer to. That shows that there are bad eggs in INEC that are ready to frustrate every effort for us to have good democracy in Nigeria. This is telling you that some people are compromising the results, and that is why we are having all these variants. There should not be any issue with this variance. So INEC need to do a soul searching after this and bring public, we need to know, because this should not be swept under the carpet. People that are perpetrating this need to be prosecuted by INEC. INEC need to clear these people from its organization. Otherwise, it will taint and stain the credibility of INEC. We have the system now, we have the technology now, and Nigerians are ready to comply. Then the umpire need to be credible. And that is where the focus is now. It's glaring that the result that was given by INEC is the authentic one right from the beginning. Now, when there is now petition, a certain member of INEC have been compromising with PDP or with Adeleke people to compromise the information. And I thank God that this was found out and it was rejected. This need to be corrected. I don't think there is any too diverse outcome of the election. Either the minority or the majority. The minority never said that there was no overvoting. It says the issue was based mostly on beavers. Yes, beavers is the core. It's right, but it doesn't make it invalid. The judgment invalid. The judgment to me is unanimous because beavers is the one that really actually states how many people are really entitled to vote.
Yeah.
So the accreditation is confirmed, then the total vote should not be more than the accredited number of people that were supposed to vote. So they are all saying the same thing. Either the beavers is the beavers APC is the day of beavers. Yes, beavers is the core, but it doesn't notify the fact that there were overvoting, there were discrepancies, there were manipulation by INEC officers. It's INEC that need to be accountable for what has gone wrong.
Thank you very much, Ademola. Shukwa, one other thing that came out during this court case is the fact that the result, the certificate submitted by Ademola Adeleke was not legible. Legible in the sense that actually you can't actually read it. Now, when you submit your certificate to INEC to verify, I am thinking that INEC should have taken this certificate and actually go to that school or call them or send an email to them or contact them in one way or the other to say, okay, so person said that he obtained a degree or he obtained a certificate from this institution. Can you please confirm for us? Did this happen at this so time? Do you have this on your record? But what we saw in INEC's document is that somebody submitted a result to you that is not legible. You can't even read the name on the document, and you accepted it and put it in your file, and that was the basis for him to contest an election. Do you think we're living in a banana republic?
Obviously, we are, because the question that comes to mind then is that whoever in INEC made that decision that Senator Adeleke met the requirements and as such is eligible to contest in the election. What was the basis upon which that decision was made? I think that's a question. It's a fair question. And I think INEC ought to answer that particular question. Because if it's not legible, how did they come to that conclusion? Or if it is a scenario where it was legible then and it is no longer legible, well, what happened? So that, I think, is a question that INEC again needs to answer, and to ensure that the public will have confidence in INEC's processes for verifying and validating candidates and qualifying them, to ensure that only eligible candidates contest in elections. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I think there needs to be a bit more transparency in that system. I don't see anything wrong in INEC having for example, a public portal where they will post all of the information that has been provided by candidates, even if it is for a period of time, maybe over a period of 30 days, so that people who may have issues or who, may have challenges can actually challenge, or provide whatever or ask whatever questions that they may want with response to the documents that candidates put forward for their towards their eligibility. So it looks like that process is kind of it's not transparent, and now we have reason to question the validity of that process. I think the public,
it's fraudulent. Actually.
Yeah,
fraudulent to me. It's fraudulent.
Yeah, so the public needs a bit more transparent. I mean, the INEC needs to provide a bit more transparency in that process, and I think a good way is to actually publish all of the documents that candidates submit, so that the public can actually see it, and people who have a reason to challenge, such documents can do so. And I think it will also serve as a deterrent to candidates who know for a fact that they are either submitting forged documents or inaccurate documents, to maybe reconsider that before they do so. So some transparency, I think, is very much needed there.
Thank you very much, Shukolawal. And I'm going to go back to Ademola. But before then, let me welcome my very good friend, Ademola from United States of America. Mr. Ademola, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being with you.
Okay. So we've been discussing about the judgment of the Osun State Governorship, which happened about 2 days ago, in which Governor Adeleke was declared, was removed from office, and his predecessor, Governor Oyetola, was declared winner of the election result. So that's what we've been discussing. So so I'll come back to you. Let me go to Ademola. Ademola, now you've heard what you have just said about the question of the result. So you have a situation whereby a candidate submitted his school cert or his diploma or his BSc degree to INEC for verification, but it's not legible. Nobody can read what is in there, and they accept this and put it in the file and say, yes, it's qualified. Is that? Do you think do you think there's some kind of hanky-panky there? Let me put it like that. Do you think there's a kind of fraud?
Thank you, Deji. I think because that is the perception that the activities and the logic that the INEC is giving to the public. And whoever is responsible for this anomaly has put the reputation of INEC at stake. It's really put the reputation under it's really disrupting the reputation of INEC. Look, Deji, even if it's ordinary a school start order or even somebody, you can know what a certificate looks like. When they present certificate, they are not presenting photocopy. They are presenting original copies. They are not citing only, they are citing original of all these documents.
It must be original.
Who receive it?
It must be original.
Who is checking it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is, so it's really very embarrassing to say that at this stage of our enlightenment in Nigeria, we cannot say whatever a certificate is original or genuine or not. It's really very, very disappointing. And this is still come back to the reputation of INEC. INEC need to really do a thorough house cleaning. A lot of people in INEC are already on the pay list of politicians. They are compromising their job. They are compromising the integrity of our election for their own selfish end. INEC need to get all these people out of its system. Otherwise, they will be the one that are destroying Nigerian democracy.
Thank you.
This is obvious. And I'm really surprised. I'm really disappointed in the court as well, because this is a straightforward issue. They should have made a straight judgment on this, that this certificate is not credible. It's obvious. What they are giving them is not credible. Why can't they say it as it is?
And the candidate is not eligible because of
And even if a candidate said, "Oh, it's credible," why can't this candidate bring the original to compare with the copy they have?
Why can't they even bring it to the court? Why can why can
understand? So, and if the candidate is not able to defend his own certificate, then it's obvious he doesn't have any certificate. It's a straightforward issue for the court to have done. For them to be silent on this is really not good as well.
Thank you, Ademola. Let me pause you there. Let me go over to the politician in town. So, first of all, I know that you have read the judgment.
Yeah, I did.
I'm not ready to file about it. What is your opinion about that judgment? What do you think the judges did a good job, or was it a bad job?
We still have some credible people in the aim of affairs in Nigeria. The judges, they did a credible job, right? I read through the judgment, and I was so impressed that some people are still, they know their own, they know what they are doing. The court, they subtracted all the vote where there was overvoting, right? They subtracted it, but in like 700 words. I don't know, at this level of our enlightenment in Nigeria, there should be it's not game as usual. We should desist from all these things. The election of 79, the election of 83, we are moving up. The BVAS really exposed a lot of things there. Like some people are not accredited and they have many voters more than the accredited. So it's abnormal, right? So people just came out from nowhere. They are voting 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. That is the meaning.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, the way what the guy presented, Senator Ademola Adeleke he's just exposing himself to ridicule with the way I read that the INEC is not, they sue INEC, and INEC said they are not going to, in no case they are going to appeal the judgment. So why I saw a lot of things on the media that they are doing this, they are doing that. No, they should just let the sleeping dog lies. It doesn't worth it.
So
Ademola Adeleke forged result.
Yeah,
he forged the result. The result cannot be read. By now, after 3 years, you should have collected the original certificate, and you should have presented the original certificate you collected, not the photocopy. The lawyer should even advise him. I wonder why people are the lawyer, they wanted to collect his money, collecting the money, but they should tell him basically that thing cannot fly. Right? Our argument cannot fly. They should tell them. But because of buying the judgment, because they buy the judiciary, because of the way they're doing, they keep telling them that they will do it, they will do it, they will do it. So I believe I give kudos to the judiciary on this matter. Right? And you wanted to ask me a question.
Yeah. So
do I believe what?
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask if you believe in about this result. That kind of, I think the result actually was removed. The original result submitted was removed and it was now replaced by something not legible. So do you think that somebody there in INEC is somebody at the top there has been brought over by the PDP and is perpetrating this evil?
You just said it. Somebody has removed the original result submitted.
Yeah.
If the APC people, they have not lived up to their own, they should have accepted the result like that. But why should we be doing, people at the aim of appeal? Like Governor Chosa said, that when the gold is rust, what then can the iron do? These people, they sworn to the Constitution of Nigeria to uphold the office. Any position of trust you should be a man of trust. Any position of trust, you should be credible.
Yeah.
These people are not credible enough. They all just believe in money, 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 money. Right? So it's wrong for them to have removed the results, right? And replace it with fake results. It's wrong. I don't know. I don't know why people are devilish.
Because I believe that there must have been a result, a certificate that was submitted in the first place, which was possibly a fake one.
Okay.
And somebody knew, oh, this is going to be this is a fake, and then they removed it. And they just made a copy of something that is illegible and just put it there. So
what they presented is not readable. It was a photocopy, and they knew that, okay, this photocopy, how can you be present after 3-4 years? Your result, your original, why should you have released your original certificate? Right? So why can't you bring it to the court? I mean, why can't you submit it to the INEC? And the INEC, so back to what they asked, there should be session who will be verified. The INEC, they are not living. Everybody just believe in money in Nigeria. The INEC, they don't. Somebody must have been fired now.
Yeah.
I'm taken to court. Why should your session, who are supposed to verify the information submitted, the document submitted, you don't verify it. You don't go to WAEC. You don't ask them, okay, how genuine is this? How genuine is this? Right? Give us original certificates of those people that the paper, or like they always do in universities, right? University will call for the original certificate of all these papers, so they will compare it. So, but when you don't do that, people say that some people are there who are responsible for that to verify it, the information they are submitting. So even before the election, right? Anybody, you would have knew that, okay, I'm not going to skate through this, and it would have sat down gently. So it's wrong. We are just exposing ourselves to the ridicule before the international community. You didn't have the necessary requirement. You are contesting for what? Even the tax, they don't pay tax. They don't do this. All this.
Thank you, Lighton. Thank you, Lighton.
Mr. Lighton, I think I will add to, and I echo Mr. Lighton's what he's just said. I echo those sentiments, but I think I would even go further. I mean, this is not an issue where somebody should be fired. I think there should also be criminal prosecution. I think INEC officials also need to understand that if they don't conduct, election activities in accordance with the law, that would be grounds for not only losing their jobs, but also, being prosecuted for criminal activity, because this is fraud in its entirety. If somebody does not meet the requirements and are deemed ineligible, they should never contest an election. And if that happens, it must be thoroughly investigated to the point that whatever was found as wrongdoing, either somebody did not do their jobs very well, or if there is even evidence that they collected money or collected something or some favor, to be able to actually perpetrate such evil acts, that should be grounds for criminal prosecution. Yes, I think, and on both sides. So both the person who knows that they are ineligible and they are trying to pervert the system, and the official who is colluding with them in that effort. That is something that definitely should be on the table as a deterrent on either side. So candidates, if you know that you are not eligible, don't show up. And if you know that a candidate is not eligible and has not met the minimum requirements, they should never be allowed to contest in any election.
Thank you very much, Shiko. Also, we are going to go to discuss briefly the new Naira issue and there's been a lot of labaloo in Nigeria right now. People are asking for extension for the deadline, which I think has been done for another 10 days by the CBN governor. And in some instance, I overheard the Speaker of the House saying that he's going to actually arrest the CBN governor. I don't know whether that is acceptable. I don't know whether that's constitutionally by his role. I don't think maybe he's able to do that. But what I want us to discuss basically is We know there's the Naira has been, the face of the Naira has been revamped, it's been changed, the color has been changed. And this has been done in the last 3 months, and people have enough time to go to the bank, put your money. I heard the CBN governor say in the last few months, they've got a deposit of 2.8 trillion Naira brought back into the banks. So, but why do Nigerians always leave things to the last minute? Why do we always leave? I mean, this is the last week, before about 3 months to take your money to the bank. And the central bank has now, after a lot of pressure, the central bank has now, extended. But the question I'm going to start with you, Ademola, is we know that the notes that were changed are 200, 500, and 1,000. The 100 Naira note has not been changed. So, and we saw that the banks are still dispensing the old Naira notes. Why can't they just be dispensing the 100 Naira notes instead of the 1,000, and people have to come back again? And why are they not actually giving out these new notes? What is the problem? What do you think is the problem, Ademola?
Yeah, I don't think the problem is solely with the central bank. The central bank has a problem in itself, because I think these things have been the time lapse was supposed to be 90 days, which is about 3 months. So it's about almost 90 days ago that this instruction was given for people to go and change their old note to a new one. Now, there are two things that I hold the central bank responsible, because there was no proper preparation for enlightenment on this. There is little propaganda initially. I think the first month was almost nothing was acting.
Non-existent.
So it's always a total waste of the first month. And then the money was not in the bank at the time. The people were not, they don't know how it's going to be. The guidelines were not straightforward. The banks are confused, and a lot of things happening that doesn't work well with central bank as well. So they are not really well organized in the industry. No, they pick up later, but I just still give them kudos for their activities, because it's a very bold move on the central bank. I don't think we have ever have a central bank that is as bold as this to fight the politicians or the money launderers as much as this central bank governor. The other thing is the banks themselves, because most of the banks are independently owned, they are privately owned, and some of them are even owned by most of these politicians as well, who have a lot of stake in most of these banks. So they are trying as much as possible to frustrate the government, the central bank activities, and also to make it as fair as possible, basically that there will be certainly an extension for them. The issue is not the common man, to be honest. The common man, in 90 days, how much did they have that they cannot change in 90 days? It's not the common man. It's these politicians that are hoarding so much, billions in their whatever, in their grant and everything, and the time is too short for them to put everything in the bank. The central bank has succeeded in getting at least about 2 trillion out of the 3 trillion they expected to be in circulation. At least more than 1 trillion is still out there. And I will be very happy for that 1 trillion to be liquidated before the end, because that is most money that is stolen that cannot be accountable for. The people cannot justify it why they have it. And those money, if they forfeited it, the central bank can print that and bring that back into the money system. So it's our money that was stolen, that cannot be taken back, that will come back one way or the other into the central bank. But I think what caught the politician unaware is the fact that, when we used to use this money exchange, when there is no currency, you go to the bank, you bring 10,000 back, they give you 10,000 back. But the procedure this time is really good. It caught them unaware. They were thinking that they will go there because central banks you can deposit as much as possible. There's no limit to deposit. as long as you have the new explanation of how you get the money. But and they expect that if they deposit 10 million, they will get 10 million raw cash. No, it doesn't work that way. What the president has done, which is very genuine, which is very commendable, was that you deposit this into the bank, then you can only withdraw it by electronic means. There is no, they don't want that sum of cash, that cash to go back again and be hoarded.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Is what called that is their problem.
Thank you, Ademola.
I think Mr. Adisa actually put on to a couple of very interesting things I think we should elaborate on. Because this policy, in my opinion, is the first policy that I would say a central bank governor demonstrated courage in putting out. And there are two issues for different sets of people. The first issue is for the average man. The issue for the average man is not as much as being able to withdraw the money. The issue for the average man is the ability to be able to get to the bank to deposit whatever they have. So in portions of the country, like in the Northwest, there have been many reports, for example, that there aren't that many banks as you have in other parts of the country. So people mostly, hold cash. They have to make concerted efforts, maybe to pull money together to be able to get to the nearest bank. Now, with the security situation and with some, with people holding money, whatever cash they have, that is obviously a risky situation. So I can understand that plight in terms of the average man. Now, the second issue is the real issue that a lot of the politicians are screaming about. They are using the issue of the common man as their rationale for screaming. But I think Mr. Adisa just mentioned it. The reality is that now, if you take money back to the bank, let's say, for example, you take 100 million. Well, guess what? You are not going to have that 100 million back. You can only have a limited amount back, but there is no limit to how much you can transfer electronically. What does that do? Two things. If you have fronted companies, like we have seen with Article Gate, where you have illegally obtained money and you are now putting it back in the system, now there may be grounds, to actually ask how you got the money. They're not asking that question now, but there is nothing stopping banks or the government from asking those questions in the future. That's the first issue. The second issue now is that suddenly the money that you had before as a politician in cash that you will have been able to use to buy votes is no longer available to buy votes. So the ability to buy votes is discouraged. If you send that money electronically, they may not ask the question now, but somebody can come back in the future to actually ask what that transaction was for. And you have to be able to explain it. So there are different issues for different people. People who have, illegally taken money out of the system, who have kept it in cash, and as such have stayed under the radar, are now forced to come under the radar of electronic monitoring. And they obviously don't like that. So those are really the two issues that are in front of the two different categories of people. And I think for the average Nigerian, they will probably get by. But for the politicians, it is a massive blow to their efforts to be able to steal another election.
Thank you, Shukwu. Lighter, I want you to answer this political question. So you have a President Muhammadu Buhari, who has benefited from this buying vote syndrome. That's why he became president. I mean, all the votes he got in Lagos, and they bought the vote for him. He has now used this system to run for 2 terms. It's now saying, no, I'm not allowing that to happen again. What do you make of that?
First and foremost, he is make a highly fundamental point. The changing of Naira is good, but what the timing is what constraint, what I don't like. He even said it, I heard it from later, where he said he would allow people to vote. That said, somebody in town, he said he doesn't want anybody with Bibles, he doesn't want anybody that he thinks is okay. That is well. So I get the somebody. But they are
you're not clear, light on. You're not very clear.
I'm not very clear.
Okay, just talk slowly.
Okay, it's better now.
Yeah, better now, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now,
your audio.
Sorry.
You have a problem with your audio.
It's just the audio.
Okay.
The audio, yeah.
So,
okay, it's better now.
Hello?
Continue. Continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can hear me now.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, what we are saying in essence is
that
the boss banking sector, there's nothing up them from doing this to debar people from all this stuff. But the timing is wrong. Like you rightly said, the system that brought him in, first time he won the election, they bought the election for him, right? The second time they bought the election for him, but now you are saying that okay, is targeted the aim, is targeted towards the candidate.
I don't want you to mention it. Please don't mention any names. Please don't mention.
No. It's targeted towards some people, okay. Right? So and everybody knows the people they are targeting, and the people, the person they are targeting has cried out that okay, the petroleum scarcity, the Naira scarcity at this material time. They targeted it towards somebody. They don't want him at all. They said that this is their candidate, but he eventually won. So they left him. Okay, we know how to deal with you. So they change the money. They change the color of the Naira. They do this. They do that. Don't notice that a lot of money came out from where they all the money. Right? It's good. It's nice. It's a good policy, which I like. But the timing is wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
So somebody has used a ladder to climb. You've now reached the top.
That is what they are doing.
Remove the ladder.
They don't want a particular person. They know that this guy is coasting home to victory. And okay, what do we do? Let's discourage him. It's like their target has even spoken out that they are targeting him. Right? So let's wait and see how it goes. But okay. I know it's wrong.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've nailed it on the head. You've nailed it. I'm just going to give you you guys 1 minute because we have to go in about 5 minutes. So let me start with you, Shukwa, this time, and let me start with you. Now, we have a situation whereby the central bank is releasing money, these new notes, to the different banks. But the moment the money lands in the bank, it disappears. So some people are sucking it. Some of these politicians, they are sucking it and holding it through the back door. What do you think the central bank should do now? Because apparently the money is not available.
There's not much I think that the bank can do, to be quite honest, unfortunately. I think after the expiration, they're probably, the central bank may want to look at maybe a period of time where, people who still have money and maybe come forward to say, okay, I still have this amount of money that I haven't been able to change. And they cannot tally that over time, but you have to actually have a form of an upfront declaration before, and then the bank can maybe kind of relate that, and then work with where they have an account to have them deposit it and ensure that they are giving, either the money is credited into the account electronically, or however means. But I think the timing, could not be any better. I mean, it's impeccable in my opinion.
I think it's a coup.
There will always be.
It's a coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Teku is a civilian.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically intended, in my opinion, to really cut to the heart of corruption during election time. So has it been done? Has it gone smoothly? No, and I think any Nigerian government agency or any will likely have some logistical problems.
Okay.
I think that's okay, but I think that's probably the only thing that the CBN can do. I don't think the CBN really has many options in forcing banks to make notes more available.
Thank you, Shupo. Ademola, we've seen we've heard a lot of people saying that when they go into the ATMs, they're still dispensing the old notes. Now, I know that the 100 Naira notes, the Awolowo notes, has not been changed. It's still the same. Why could the bank not just put in 100 Naira notes there? Because eventually we heard people in the north say that there are a lot of people in the rural area, they still depend on cash. So why don't you just give them 100 Naira notes? So that if you have maybe 10,000 Naira, you need one big lorry to carry it. So that will actually, allow force people to actually go cashless. So, what's your opinion about that, Ademola?
Yeah, because guys, to be honest, for any changes, you always have unforeseen circumstances, things that you don't expect that will come. And Nigeria, being as unique as Nigeria is, in Nigeria, we always give you unforeseen circumstances, irrespective of how much you prepare. So the central bank has specifically analyzed and explained itself regarding the areas not only in the north, also in the east, with some riverized areas, or in some areas in the south, also in the southwest as well, where there is not much banking system in there. They have organized local arrangement with the central bank, go into each of these identified places. They said there are about 30,000 units of this throughout Nigeria, which they have organized, the central banks and the banks in each of these zones, to go carry cash in hand and sort this out. And most of these people that he said they have less than 10,000 or even 5,000 cash that they have on themselves, which they can easily transfer. That means change for them immediately, and they still keep it. They don't need to put it in the banking system. So, and those who even have more than 10,000, the central bank has also give them the bank manager or the central bank representative the discretion to override those guidelines and still honor to change those money for them. So they are all out. As I said earlier on, the banks in the money in because a lot of the banks have the new Naira note, they refuse to put it in the cash machine before, and the central bank has to go out hold them responsible, and it's also liaising with EFCC and other enforcement agencies to put people that are sabotaging this effort to be able to charge them and to be able to prosecute them.
Okay, Ademola, I think we're out of time. Let me just sorry to pause you there. Let me just give a light on 1 minute to just make his last decision. So, Lighton, what is your final? Just in 1 minute, please. What is your final thoughts on this CBN and the Naira? What do you think they should do now to make things easy for people? In just 1 minute, please. Yeah, please unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Unmute.
Okay. Okay. You can hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. The central bank governor has extended it by 3 weeks or 3 more weeks.
No, 10 days. Only 10 days.
10 days.
Only 10 days. Okay, 10 days, which is okay. It's okay. 3 months is even okay for them to change all whatever the money they've stolen and they kept in their various houses. So, and now with the extension of 10 more days, I think it's okay. right? It's a good policy in a bad direction, right? Because it was targeted towards somebody. I mean, it was targeted towards the politicians, right? Some politicians, so to say. So, and they have their anointed candidate. So I heard they are even spouting for somebody from the north again to become the president. So notwithstanding, my stake is whoever, whatever we want to do, we must be thinking about, is it fair to all that concern? Is it just, right? And can it test the test of the time? So that is it. But they don't do it with equity and justice.
Thank you very much, Light. And so we come to the end of today's deliberations, and I want to thank everybody for being here today. Thank you, because I know you have taken time out of your very busy schedules. And so let me start with you, Ademola. Thank you very much for taking time off to come and speak to our viewers today. Thank you so much, Ademola.
Thank you for having me.
And also, Mr. Lalawal, far away in Canada, thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
And Mr. Ola Tandidigba, also thank you for coming to today's meeting.
It's my pleasure being here.
And for all of you, my name is Dejolaya, and I'm based in the Republic of Ireland. We hope to see you again next week. And so if you are one of our viewers, if you are watching this, if not subscribed, please push that subscription button. It's free of charge, so that when we do the next video, you'll be one of the first person to know about it. Thank you, and God bless you. See you again next week.